Thank you, Quint. So glad you're with us here in Vegas. Boy, there is an electricity in the air for a game one event that we don't normally see. We have ref cam for you. That's Cameron Lynch, ECAC officials for this game today. And he'll give us some great vantage points of plays around the net, face-offs, discussions. Had it last year in St. Louis, and it's back here in Vegas. As Zubin and the boys mentioned, back in the studio, 4 freshman goalies at this year's Frozen Four for the first time ever. Daniel Hauser in net for the Badgers. You see his numbers there. Last year in Calgary of the Western League, 20-4. And Jan Spunar, as Colby mentioned, from Czechia. And also, Colby, you like the way he handles the puck. Why does that matter?
Yeah, you have to keep your eye on the way Spunar handles the puck, because he's like a third defenseman back there. When you're going back on a puck, right, and you can get your feet up the ice and start the breakout with a good outlet pass from your goaltender, that allows you to break out clean. And watching North Dakota, really the second half of the season, to me, Butchie, their bread and butter is just how cleanly they break the puck out.
The Badgers and Fighting Hawks have played each other 3 times in the NCAA tournament, with North Dakota winning each time. The Badgers, a bit of a Cinderella story how they came back against Michigan State. North Dakota, as Colby mentioned, uncertainty over the summer on when they would get back to the Frozen Four. And 10 years after winning it all in Tampa, here they are. And here come the Badgers in red. North Dakota in the home whites. Dexheimer, the hero, the overtime goal against Michigan State, has the puck now. He's out there with Podolachuk. Turnover. Zellers has it. Will Zellers. 18 goals during the regular season. Rickwood back to the point. Here's Smolik. He sends it back behind the net. North Dakota, a heavy team. Wisconsin, the oldest team in this year's Frozen Four. Fitzgerald. Top line, Gavin Morrissey, Christian Fitzgerald, and Quinn Finley. Number 19 with 17 goals. Here comes Smolik on the breakout to Strindon. 2 up going to North Dakota games, number 21. Shot blocked.
Yeah, keep an eye on the fact that North Dakota, they love to play below the goal line, and they will use the points, right? 25, Abram Weed, he's out on the ice right now. He'll activate, he'll jump in. It's a mobile and a big group back there for North Dakota as this one goes down for icing.
Let's look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Capital One. It's the big line of Wisconsin. Christian Fitzgerald, Gavin Morrissey, Quinn Finley. What does Mike Hastings want to see from them, Colby?
Well, listen, this is a team that can hurt you on transition, but they're so disciplined the way they lay pucks in behind the D. And they're all big guys, right? So they go, they work, they play below the goal line, and they try to win all their board battles, and you'll see a lot of pucks funneled to the net for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Kernan wins the faceoff to Verhoff. It's the linesman. Puck bouncing. Kernan picks it up. Verhoff has it poked away by Grady Deering, and back in it comes. Turnover just wide.
Yeah, Luke Osborne, number 2 for Wisconsin, looking for his center in the middle. The puck just rolls off his stick. That was our first grade A of the hockey game.
North Dakota bringing the heaviness early. But Aiden Dubinsky breaks it out. He'll chip it deep. Gets a good bounce. Otherwise, that would have been another icing. There's Verhoff. Keaton Verhoff, number 18 for North Dakota defenseman. He'll be a top 3 pick in all likelihood in the NHL draft this summer in Buffalo, New York. He's out there now, number 18, the right-handed shot defenseman. He's a mountain of a 17-year-old, 6'4.5". Shot wide of Spunar. Into pinch is Weston Knox of the Badgers. It's North Dakota and Verhoff who will chip it out off the glass. This might be icing. They get the call.
You wonder about jitters early in a hockey game, and Luke Osborne, a guy who is an incredibly gifted puck mover. He just misses his mark there, and Cody Kroll, number 19 for North Dakota, a guy who had a big regional, ends up Johnny on the spot right in the slot, and Hauser not forced to make a save there, Butchie, but I think that's a little bit of nerves and just kind of getting your bearings.
Vasily Zelenov on the faceoff dot for Wisconsin, number 94. He wins it. Watch out for Blake Montgomery, number 47. He has lots of tools. Rangy and a great skater. Shot saved by Spoonar.
Spoonar looked like he was cheating off his post a little bit there.
Dexheimer's shot from the point. It's blocked by Klee. David Klee, son of former NHLer Ken Klee. Look at Montgomery's moves. Here they come down the middle. Montgomery reaches in front. Saved by Spoonar. The first great save of the game.
I mean, the composure by Jan Spoonar. He makes this save look pretty easy, but number 47 for the Wisconsin Badgers, the Ottawa draft pick, showing off just the hands in tight. I mean, the ability to just kind of reach his hands off his body right there and then have the poise to throw that puck on his backhand, knowing exactly where Zelenov was, 94 in red. That's the play you're talking about with Montgomery, Butchie. Supremely talented for a guy his size.
Yeah, his mom was a D1 basketball player at Berkeley. Dad played D3 hockey at St. Mary's. He is an absolute athlete, number 47, Blake Montgomery.
Yeah, speaking of athlete, just watch the push here, left to right for Spoonar. Makes this look pretty easy. Deep in his net, though.
Yeah, almost too deep. Dexheimer behind that to Finley. Big line out there for Wisconsin. They need to produce today. If Wisconsin's going to get this win and advance to the national championship game Saturday on ESPN, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 o'clock local on Saturday. The winner of this game plays the winner of Denver and Michigan.
You know, you watch these two teams, Butchie, and you look over at North Dakota and you start wondering who are the guys you want to keep your eyes on. Ellis Rickwood, he comes over from Clarkson after leading their team in scoring. Now he leads North Dakota in scoring. And then Dylan James, man, this is a guy who can light it up. He's got a big-time shot, and he likes to use it. And we'll be talking about Keaton Verhoff, not just tonight, but for a long time to come. He's destined to have a real long, successful NHL career and probably going to be a top 2 or 3 pick in the entry draft.
Those were North Dakota's Impact Players, brought to you by Capital One. Abram Weave just out of his reach. He's a Vegas 7th round draft pick, so he might play in this rink in a few years for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, he was traded to Calgary, so Calgary actually owns his rights now. I think he was part of the Rasmussen deal.
Weave has the puck now. Goes to Cole Reshney. Reshney, a Calgary Flame first-round pick, number 17.
And wait till you see the puck poise on 17 in this game.
He's a playmaker.
Oh, yeah, his ability to hold it and make a play without looking and just the misdirection that 17 in white and green plays with. I mean, he has been unbelievable as a freshman in college. A young guy, too.
He has the puck now. Dane Jackson compared him to Jonathan Taves, gamer. Great hockey sense. And now he'll go look to change after getting that deep. There's Tyler Young, Falmouth, Massachusetts. In front! Saved by Hauser. Doesn't know where it is. But Tassi gets it out of there. Here's Verhoff. Shot. Saved by Hauser. He looked sharp early.
Both goaltenders getting the opportunity to get into this hockey game. Couple of big saves at both ends. Kroll with another one.
Shot into the glove of Spoonar. Was going to go over the crossbar, but he makes the glove save. So the young Daniel Hauser, we wonder how these freshman goaltenders are going to handle with the spectacle of the Frozen Four. Here's an early answer.
You know what, though? Paul Caponigri said it in our studio, right? These guys are used to these big moments. It really doesn't faze them with their junior experience. They've all played in big buildings. I mean, look at, not only does he push out, but he tracks it into his body and he hangs onto it until he gets a little bit of help from his defenseman, and that puck keeps moving.
Yeah, Hauser's 22 years old, so he's no kid. Klee gets it out of trouble. Simple, straightforward hockey from North Dakota. Still delayed offside. They'll have the touch up, and that gives plenty of time for Wisconsin and Weston Knox to start the breakout. Here's that third line again. Montgomery set up a chance earlier for Zelenov. Montgomery's offside at the line. There he is, 47, attended Mount St. Charles for high school in Rhode Island for a bit. Game 1 of our Thursday doubleheader is underway. The winner advancing to the national championship game. Here's how the Wisconsin Badgers got to this year's Frozen Four. Great start. 16-3-2. They're a top 3 in the country in the NPI. But then they finish 8-9. Got housed in the quarters by Ohio State. But they get to the regional final. They're down 3-1 in the third, score 2 late goals, and then the overtime winner. And Mike Hastings is back with another team, twice with Minnesota State. Of course, he got the big job at Wisconsin. Year 1, made the tournament. Last year did not make the tournament, but now he is back. And you think he's one of the best, Colby. Why?
Listen, I just think he has this ability to bring that old school and new school approach together. His players will go through a wall for him. They know how much he cares about them as people, even though he's tough, right? He's not a walk in the park to play for, but he holds players accountable. I think the guys feel like they're treated fairly. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. You know, he's one of the coaches I'd send my kids to go play for.
Now the Badgers are on the forecheck. Finley has the puck. Back to the point. Chuck throws it around the net. It gets by Fitzgerald, but then Dexheimer keeps it in.
You know, both of these teams, what makes them successful, they're like football teams that run the ball. You know, they'll play 5 yards, 5 yards. They'll wear you down below the goal line. They'll try to beat you off the wall and just continue to go stick battle, stick battle. They're those types of teams, and those are difficult types of teams to play this time of year.
Dexheimer, nice move from around the net. The captain gets it to Quinn Finley. Islander third-round pick will go change with the rest of his top line mates. Back comes Zelenoff, Montgomery, and Horbach for the Badgers. E.J. Emery, first-round pick of the Rangers, 30th overall, defenseman North Dakota out there. Turnover, Montgomery, shot, saves Spoonar, and he covers up. Blake Montgomery is an early factor in this semifinal game.
You always wonder how the nerves are going to factor into some of these games, and you just see a little bit of a miscommunication between Emery and Livanovich, and 47 in red so far, Blake Montgomery. He is all around the puck, and he finds a second opportunity. Give Spoonar credit. Again, he's so calm right now in the net to start this game. Really different than last weekend, where I felt like he was kind of moving all over the net, Butchie, and kind of overplaying certain pucks.
Montgomery turns 21 May the 4th. 9 goals in 36 games. Won a Memorial Cup last year with London. He is special, Mike Hastings says. We're going to see him in the National Hockey League one day. Horbach behind the net. The Badgers are circling. To the net. Saved by Spoonar through traffic. Zelenoff goes in there, jousting Spoonar. And of course, that gets the attention of North Dakota.
Butchie, this shot was deflected. Where I am between the bench, I got the perfect sight line. So as Osborne, who's a left-handed shot, when he moves into the middle here, right, on that fake, watch the tip in the high slot. That puck gets redirected right around the top of the circle, which makes it even more difficult for a goaltender to track and then squeeze. That is a great-looking save by Jan Spoonar. He is dialed early.
Wisconsin, the advantage in the faceoff thought early, 7-2. Zelenoff, Montgomery, and Horbach remain out there. Max Swanson now to take the faceoff. Zelenoff, he's strong on the dot. He wins that one. Horbach circle shot, bad angle shot. Spoonar again. Colby looks like he almost came off that post. So the Badgers now with a little bit of momentum here as we approach the midway point of the opening period. Swanson apparently got a piece of that, icing waved off. Montgomery has it now. Up the wall, Zelenoff. That is deflected back in the Badger zone. Rushney, beautiful pass. Shot, Strindon deflected into the netting. Ben Strindon, Nashville 7th round pick.
This time of year, Butchie, face-offs become incredibly important, right? There's a little over-under for Jack Horbach, who comes from that middle hash mark, and he just rolls around the top. You try to create, I don't know, a foot and a half of space as you move laterally through the offensive zone, and they seem to want to test Spoonar from that weak angle, don't they?
They do. They've twice sent pucks at that bad angle. Face off this one, won by North Dakota. Eaton Verhoff, 17-year-old freshman, sends it in. He's going to switch sides now. He was on his offside there. Now he's back on the right side as the puck comes out. Kyle Kukkonen, Duck draft pick, number 9 in red. Fairhoff rips it around. Kept in by Knox. Back behind the North Dakota net. But now the Fighting Hawks can't clear it. Kept in. Knox steps up. Didn't know what to do there. Took the body, but he had help. And Kukkonen sent a nice tape-to-tape pass to Brink. His shot is blocked. Squirts in front. Cody Kroll is there. Here comes Ollie Josephson. Back in the lineup for North Dakota. He has it. Back to the point. Smolik sends it behind the net.
There's another bundle breakout here by Wisconsin. I think both teams, honestly, having a difficult time breaking out right now.
Late wave off of that icing, properly called by the ECAC officials. Turnover. Here comes Tassi. Saved by Spooner. Tassi didn't get a lot on that wrist shot. He has it again. Tassi. Osborne is dangerous. Saves Spooner. Still loose between the leg pass in front by Tassi. Goes on net. And Spooner covers up. So the Badgers now have tilted the ice a bit here.
Well, listen, it's another turnover off the breakout. I thought one of the strengths in North Dakota was the way they break pucks out, but David Klee gets caught there looking for his center in the middle, and Horvath gets a great opportunity off of it. And then 11 in white, Simon Tassi. He's a transfer who came over with Mike Hastings from Mankato a couple of years ago. He loves to be in and around the net, and Spooner, the goaltender for North Dakota, is going to be seeing a number 11 in red throughout this hockey game.
Spoonar's 21 years old. He turns 22 in May. Badgers see if they can turn this momentum into an early goal. Here's Finley. He's their most dangerous goal scorer. Hard pinch. North Dakota gets it out.
Good play there by Luke Osborne. Just takes that puck out of the air, and then you can see how quick and good his feet are to transition that puck up the ice.
But now North Dakota has some room in numbers. Just onside at the line. Here's Weeb, the defenseman. Whiffs on the attempt to send it in. And the Badgers looking for a quick breakout. Here's Osborne, Buffalo Sabre, 4th round pick. Falls to his knees. Kept in. Puck bouncing dangerously, but Badgers able to clear. 8 shots on goal, Wisconsin, 2 for North Dakota.
This Luke Osborne and his partner, Aiden Dubinsky, they really stepped up. They've lost a couple of defensemen this year. Logan Hensler, the 1st round pick. Zach Scholz, he's another one that they lost on the back end, and those two have been really good for the Badgers.
Montgomery flying down the wing, but here comes North Dakota. Back the other way. Strinden will self-dump into the corner. Be the first one to get it. The Badgers are really tracking back well, and they're all over it. They get another breakout. Now Reshny. Zelenov. This could be icing. Nope, it was touch, so Wisconsin will be able to change.
This is usually the part of the first game, Butchie, where the nerves start to settle in. You've had 2 shifts. You've run into somebody. Maybe you had a shot on goal. I think back all those years ago. This is when you feel like you can settle in and really start getting to your game.
Keaton Verhoff. Tape to tape to Max Swanson. And Dexheimer now will be the first one back to get it. He reverses. Here come the Badgers looking to get out again. There's no sustained pressure for North Dakota here as the first period is past the midway point. Podolachik steps up nicely, the defenseman. Shot on goal, easy save by Spooner. Smolik sends it up to Young. Young, 3 years at Merrimack and now here at North Dakota. Chipped in softly, and here comes North Dakota looking for some pressure. Jack Kernan pasted in the corner. And again, just another clean breakout by the Badgers. They're exiting well. That pass over the stick of Tassi, so it's icing on the Badgers.
Yeah, you just see Wisconsin sort of laddering pucks through the defensive zone. That's helping them get up the wall and get the puck out.
Coverage of the national championship game will be this Saturday, 5 o'clock on ESPN and the ESPN app. The winners of today's games advance to that championship game on ESPN. North Dakota, Wisconsin right now, and then later tonight, also on ESPN2, Michigan, the #1 overall seed, and Denver, what will be a titanic matchup here in Vegas. Weed has it. Shot wide of Hauser. Wisconsin finishing every check. Pass in front. Oh my goodness! What a glove save by Daniel Hauser.
How about the play that David Klee makes from below the goal line to move that puck out into the slot, and it looks like we've got our first highway robbery of the Frozen Four. What a save by Hauser.
Coach, you said you've been to the circus and your team will be prepared to get off the plane. How have they handled the anxiety?
You know what, I thought it was a pretty good start. We've got a little loose in our end at losing a guy or two, but I've liked our start. I think we've been good off the face-off, been able to create some opportunities there, but we're going to have to get some traffic in front of them if we think we're going to go and buy them.
What's most concerning?
Just a little bit there. We've lost, our centers have lost their third guy a couple of times. Just have to be patient and poised.
Thank you, Coach.
And here's a good look at one of the turnovers that Mike Hastings is talking about. Look at Josephson just hanging out right between, off the back of Oliver Tull at 55 and red. He finds that nice little soft spot, and you know, during the break he actually went to the board and he was showing his own players, though that's where Mike Hastings wants his forwards hanging out in those little soft areas.
Another face-off win by Wisconsin as bodies hit the face-off dot. Fitzgerald can't quite get it out. Now the Badgers do. Finley. Fitzgerald's going to win the race. Goes to his backhand. Tries to get it down to Finley. Grabs a bit there along the wall, surrounded, and the Hawks are able to get that one out as Swanson takes the glove up high. Whistle blows, and the door is open in the corner to the left of Wisconsin goalie Daniel Hauser. There it is. Lock that thing up, boys. Christian Fitzgerald, 1 year at Minnesota State, playing for Mike Hastings, now 3 years at Wisconsin. Hastings successful at the USHL level, won 3 championships there. And it was on to the NCAAs, became the head coach at Minnesota State Mankato in 2012. Here come the Badgers again. Just easy exits for Wisconsin so far in this game out of their own zone. North Dakota is going to try to get some more pressure. Here comes Zellers, drops it back to Ellis Rickwood, the transfer from Clarkson. He's in the corner. Verhoff's going to keep it in. Towards Rickwood, he's hit hard. Wisconsin finishing all their checks. Another one there on Verhoff. And watch out for Zellers, he's dangerous. Just lost a handle with that one. And the Badgers are able to get it out.
Zellers with 18 goals this year for North Dakota as this one gets waved off, but number 9 in white, he's a guy you want to keep your eye on. He gets the puck around the hash marks, top of the circles. He can wire it.
Podolachuk has it out, the defenseman, to Ben Dexheimer, the captain from Edina, Minnesota. Turnover, watch out, off the bench, shot, score! Oh, baby! Simon says 1-0 Badgers.
Well, Butchie, we talked about the importance of breaking pucks out this time of year, and this is a breakout gone all wrong. It's a big-time shot, but the forecheck pressure by Zelenoff and the stick detail by number 94. He gets his stick down, he deflects that breakout pass. It ends up right on Simon Tassie's stick, and the seas parted for big number 11, and he puts that puck between the glove and the ear hole of Spoonar, and the shutout streak has ended for North Dakota.
First goal they've given up in this NCAA tournament. And here come the Badgers again. One-timer! It's Tassi again. Saved by Spoonar. It's Tassi's 14th goal of the year. He's a north-south guy, net front presence guy on the power play. He came off the bench, went straight north, and wired that one in. And here they come again. Botterill shot. Score!
Transition. This is an incredible play through the middle of the ice. It's just a simple D-to-D, and Ben Dexheimer, the captain, throws an absolute missile through center ice. There's a great look, head up all the way. It's a streaking Ryan Botterill, and this one just finds its way through. But that is textbook transition hockey through the neutral zone, playing fast, playing with speed, and Wisconsin's got to like where they sit right now.
They have started on time in this game. They have gotten the attention of every North Dakota fan in the T-Mobile Arena. As usual, they have traveled well here to Vegas. Here comes Rushney now. 3 wide, just onside at the line. Swanson, Rushney, Strindon. But again, the Badgers get it out relatively easily.
Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 54 seconds.
The oldest team in this year's Frozen Four has a 2-0 lead.
The season from Solana. Time of the goal, 12:54. Wisconsin goal is
That's icing. Red line wasn't quite achieved there by Jack Phelan, so the faceoff will come down in the Wisconsin end.
And to number 14, Joe Palaniuk. Time of the goal, 13 minutes, 21 seconds of the first period. Botterill is 10th of the season from Dexheimer and Palaniuk.
I was talking to Mike Hastings yesterday, as we all did, Colby. I asked him, I think Ryan Botterill might end up scoring more goals eventually. His history says he's a goal scorer.
You did ask that question.
2 goals in 27 seconds.
You put it out to the universe.
Manifested it today by Ryan himself. It's about the players. And the Wisconsin players off to a good start. Zellers jangling down low, and Hauser's able to cover up.
Yeah, I want to go back to the first goal of this hockey game, and I want to watch number 94, the stick detail right there. He goes stick on puck with one hand on his stick, which creates that turnover, and that's how that puck eventually finds its way to Simon Tassi. You talked about Mike Hastings right off the top of the show today, and we talked about what a tremendous coach, right? You think about details, you think about accountability. That right there is good stick detail.
It's why he was hired by Wisconsin after a successful run at Minnesota State, bringing them to 2 Frozen Fours this decade. Palaniuk with a nice play. Here comes Zelenoff again. Beautiful speed on the off wing. Stop, shift. Puck is loose in front. Kept in by Palaniuk. Just keeps it in. Now North Dakota will try to generate some offense. Hauser comes out. Dexheimer is knocked down. He battles along the wall here in Vegas. Back to the point. Verhoff will pinch down the wing, but his teammates are changing. He'll rim it around. Nice play as they were coming off the bench fresh.
That's a great release there by Keaton Verhoff. That's an IQ play, right? You know where you are. You know who's coming onto the ice. You release a puck, and you got all the eyes on you. That's a little one that doesn't end up on the score sheet, but now all of a sudden, you get offensive zone time, and we'll see who's going to end up with the power play here.
It's going to be a holding penalty coming up. It's going to be on North Dakota.
Great, minor penalty for holding.
Ollie Josephson goes to the box, and Wisconsin has an excellent power play, and they'll have one next.
nickname is Juice Box. Me and my linemate had each other named the Juice, so Juice Box. Another nickname a lot of boys call me, which everyone is the Locksmith. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't really last time. My kind of ritual is sit down in front of the couch and watch them power spring laps for 4 hours, and I probably just go a day out per day when I'm hurt. Mr. Back-to-Back. Call back next year. I'm trying to win a title this season. Yeah, I love Mazda. What's called it? Usually I get to
Thank you, Zubin. Mike Hastings' team up 2-0. Now they go on the power play.
And just like Andrew Raycroft said, it's been all about the forecheck. The first one by Zelenoff, the great stick, and then he hands that puck out into the middle, and then what a pass by the captain, Ben Dexheimer, to Ryan Botterill, and he's going to make no mistake on that breakout. And right now, the Wisconsin faithful, they're feeling really good about themselves. But Butchie, how many of these have you done, and how many of these have we done together? 2-goal leads in the Frozen Four. I'm not sure how much they hold up all the time.
13 for me, 7 for you now, Colby. Joined us in Buffalo for the first time with Barry Melrose. I know Barry's watching. Barry, we'll miss you, buddy. Josh Hoffman, our producer, Bruce Watson, our director here in Las Vegas. A big moment in this game.
Well, you got the 6th best power play against the 14th best penalty kill, so both of these teams good.
Turnover, Rookwood shot! Oh, he missed by inches over the crossbar to get the short-handed goal. We got a broken skate blade on Finley. He is laboring to the bench. Don't miss his offensive power on this power play. Here comes North Dakota. They're down 2-0. They're smelling offense a bit, even down a man.
Well, look, North Dakota is one of the most aggressive penalty-killing teams in the country. I mean, they come hard if they see your back, or if a puck is along the yellow part of the rink, they will do their best to jump you. And you can even see the disruption they're trying to cause up the ice.
Power play, Wisconsin. Crazy bounce. That'll give time for North Dakota to try to clear, but they can't. Zelenoff keeps it in. Deering in there deep. Big body. Pass comes out in front. Stick battle. Won by Wisconsin. Osborne's dangerous. Looks across. One-timer. Oliver Tall couldn't quite get a stick on that bouncing puck. Zelenoff, quick shot in front. Wide open. Backhand by Botterill, looking for his second. Flutters harmlessly into the glove of Jan Schmunar.
Well, the Wisconsin power play not really getting to their structure, but it's just a broken play around the net. And look at the stick by the captain, Smolik. He just kind of reaches in there, disrupts this enough, and that's an easy save for Schmunar.
Finley's skate blade is fixed. Number 19 in red is back on the ice with the top power play unit. You see him right there on the left point. He's chasing the puck now. And he has it. Goes behind the net. Gavin Morrissey from Dayton, Ohio, number 7. Dexheimer back to Morrissey. Fires to Finley. He's dangerous. Trying to go with the bumper position to Fitzgerald. Couldn't get it there. Kept on the blue paint by the Badgers. No shots on this power play yet, with 22 seconds to go in it. Badgers are the oldest team in this year's Frozen Four and have the largest group of seniors. Cannot underestimate that. Face-off won again by the Badgers. Dexheimer has room. Shot! Tip save! Fitzgerald got that in the high slot. That's a great save by Schmunar.
Yeah, Fitzgerald leads his team in power play goals with 9. That was a crafty tip.
Power play winding down as North Dakota. One shot on goal on that power play, and it is over.
And North Dakota can take the momentum from that kill, and hopefully they can start to find their footing a little bit here, because, again, they've struggled at the things that they're good at. Sustained pressure, breakouts.
Turnover, squack that, puck is loose. Skated out of trouble, now North Dakota comes back. 13 shots on goal for Wisconsin. Turnover, no help in front. for Jack Kernan. Look to bank that off of Hauser. This will be icing if it makes it. Waved off late. Just 4 shots on goal for North Dakota. Badgers rolling their lines, keeping the speed and aggressiveness into their game plan. Josephson, quick move. Quite finish it off. Nice try. Once again, the Badgers with an easy exit. Under 90 seconds to go in the first. Turnover again. Here's Montgomery to the net. Floats wide. In front, Montgomery gets backhander. Blocked. Badgers changing. Deflected. Another save by Spoonar. Horbach with the shot. Saved by Spoonar. What a start for Wisconsin. Beautiful move at the blue line by Weston Knox.
1 minute remaining in the first period. Final minute of play in the first period.
Again, look at the forecheck pressure from Wisconsin. They're changing again.
It's 3 times so far North Dakota has failed to break the puck out clean.
In front, 1 whack, 2 whack. Spoonar's on his post, and he covers up.
The offensive onslaught by Wisconsin coming off the turnovers and the breakout struggles. The first one, Verhoff, he tries to lay that puck up and off the wall, but Oliver Tulk just gets above him. And then look, how many red sweaters are behind the net. These were a couple of the opportunities for Zelenoff, Botterill's around the net. Look at all the red sweaters, just overwhelming this North Dakota breakout again. I thought that was one of the bread and butter from North Dakota last weekend. They broke the puck out so well in their regional, but this first period, it's been a totally different story. One-timer option on the point right now. Dubinsky and Osborne, they've changed sides.
And they get the face-off. And they have it again here late in the first. Emery, good defense behind the net on Grady Geary. Careful of that left arm.
Look how Dubinsky pre-pinches down there, Butchie. Right, 28, he's sitting down there on the hash mark. Snuffs out the breakout. Now here we go again.
Wrestling match. And North Dakota has it. Physical to end the first. 10 seconds to go in the first. Dubinsky, nifty little play to Osborne. Brink is going to skate it out. And the first period was painted in red. The Wisconsin Badgers, their 5-1 win over Dartmouth March the 26th in Worcester. That was their first NCAA tournament win since 2010. It had been 16 years. And now, in the semifinals, they have a 2-0 lead here in the first period. Tassi and Botterill, part of that second line with Oliver Tulk. The 2 goals out shooting North Dakota 15-4. And Daniel Hauser, part of this freshman goaltending story. Simon Tassi with one of the goals. He's with Quint Kesnick.
A senior from Montreal gets things started. Simon, what happened on that goal? What's it feel like to score in a frozen 4?
Just felt pretty good to get the boys going, and yeah, it was real electric.
How would you describe the forechecking?
It's good. We're just keeping it simple. We're playing our game, and it's working right now. We're just gonna keep it going for 2 more periods.
Thank you. Swing things over to Colby right now. He's on North Dakota's bench.
Bennett, obviously not the start that you guys drew up. It seemed like the forecheck pressure was getting to the breakout. How do you guys get around that?
Just gotta have 5 guys coming back. Right now, yeah, they're coming on us hard. We don't really have too many options. We just got to get way better at that.
You're the captain of this team, so I think you got to go in there, try to calm the guys down. What do you plan to say to the group?
Turn your attention down.
I mean, we made it this far. We're playing our style of game. We got to wait for 1 period. We just got to get back to our style of game.
All right, thanks. Good luck in the second. Butchie?
Yeah, that second answer kind of says it all. They're a little stunned right now by what happened. The Wisconsin Badgers with 2 first period goals, and they lead 2-0 after 20, Zubin. 27 shot attempts for Wisconsin, 12 for North Dakota. So, Colby, how does North Dakota tilt the ice in their favor?
Well, listen, I think they got to get to their breakouts, and I asked the captain about that. He said they had one bad period, but I think there's a lot of belief in that locker room that they have enough firepower to get themselves back into the game, and I think for them, they got to sustain a little bit of pressure. They got to win some of those puck battles along the walls, and I haven't seen a better team this year than North Dakota at making and creating offense from below the goal line. So look for the defensemen to activate off the point and look for some of those low to high plays to start materializing for the Fighting Hawks.
So we're underway here in the second period. John Butchergross, Colby Cohen, Quinn Kesnick with you at the Frozen Four in Las Vegas. Let's see how North Dakota comes out for the second period to get some sustained pressure. They weren't able to do that in the first. See the shots on goal, 18-4, favor the Badgers. Here comes Dylan James. Shot sticked by Dixheimer and comes out of the zone. Tassi battling as Molik has it. Zellers tries to knock it down. He does. Only one power play in this game so far. It was for Wisconsin. They didn't score in the first after going up 2-0. Here comes Zellers, and alone! Saved by Hauser! Daniel Hauser early in the first and early in the second with big saves.
Just continued strong play by the freshman Daniel Hauser, and this play is just sort of one of those tricky little slip plays in the neutral zone, and if you had to choose a guy to have that opportunity for North Dakota, you'd want it to be Will Zellers. I mean, he forced his way onto the U.S. World Junior team. There was a ton of backlash when he didn't make it. He's a sniper, and he's a lethal shooter. What a save by Hauser.
Shot just wide as it deflects. Another shot. Kroll had it, but that was blocked. So North Dakota now off to a good start. Shot, the net is off. Let Hauser nudge that net a couple of times as he was going post to post, and then it eventually came off.
You can see just more pace out of the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. A little bit more deliberate within their game. There's a good puck recovery, right? It's too many one and dones in that first period, but Emery puts that puck through, and then North Dakota's the first team to get back on top of it for a second chance opportunity.
Great shot from our net cam there as he went hard to close off that post. You can see the opposite post pop up in the air, and it stayed out. See if North Dakota can continue this pressure to open up the second period. And alone! Shot over the net! E.J. Emery with a golden opportunity. So Zellers and Emery in alone. Quinn Finley now tries to dance, but knocked down by E.J. Emery. Two grade A chances for North Dakota to open up the second. 10 years since North Dakota has won a national championship. 20 years since Wisconsin has won a national championship. Puck bouncing in the air and out. So even though these are the four schools with the most combined national championships we've ever seen at a Frozen Four, it's been a while for three of the four teams.
It's certainly been the year of the Blue Bloods, right? You look at North Dakota, they've been wire to wire good. Denver, Michigan, wire to wire good. And you know, you look at Wisconsin's season, up until that 6-game losing streak that they hit in the middle of the year, at one point, this was a third-ranked team in the country. So there is no shortage of star power for Dane Jackson, for Mike Hastings, and these are two teams that understand how to win hockey games.
As you saw in that graphic, 10 years for North Dakota, 20 for Wisconsin, last century for Michigan, and of course Denver, currently the standard of college hockey. Denver, Michigan, game 2 tonight on ESPN2. Pietila now, down the wing, 3 wide, in front, looking for Deering, or for Finn Brink. Ripped in by Swanson. Pietila calmly takes it out of the middle of the ice, and here he comes with Deering. Osborne shot saved by Spoonar as the defenseman activates.
Leave it! Leave it! Hey! Leave
So
it!
again, it's been 20 years since the men's Wisconsin Badger hockey team won a national championship. And look at Joe Pavelski right there, lower left portion of your screen. Went on to a great Hall of Fame NHL career, and he is here today in Las Vegas with the white W on the lid. Part of that team. That's the last time Wisconsin has won it all. Now, the women also won it that year in 2006, and of course the women won it this year in Penn State, so that could be a good omen for the men. Of course, Mark Johnson, the women win practically every year.
It's hard to keep track of all of the women's national championships for Mark Johnson and his staff. I know Brianna Decker's at home watching the Hockey Hall of Famer, the legendary Badger, Hillary Knight. I mean, there's a lot of legends that have played at that school.
Here's Montgomery now. He had a great first period. Excellent pass. Shot in front. Actually hit Horbach, who was on his butt right in front of Spoonar. Here comes Josephson now. Back comes North Dakota, trying to get the puck in the Wisconsin. Let's see if they can forecheck here and create some chances. Montgomery up the wall. He'll battle with Josephson. Wall play, both coaches said, would be very important in this game. Johnson, good stick. Trying to throw it in front. Ivanovich now. He's pulled down, no arms in the air. North Dakota, another good shift. Saved by Hauser. Smolik in. Good stick there by Montgomery to bother that. So North Dakota has come out better here in the second.
Well, I think one of the true staples for North Dakota is when you see Liviavich jumping in the play, running down the wall, and just being an extra attacker.
Talk is dangerous. Shot. Good stick by Zellers to deflect that into the netting. As we mentioned, the Wisconsin men trying to do what the Wisconsin women did this year. Win the national championship. They took care of Ohio State in Penn State, 3-2 win. And what a spring it was for some of those Badger women. Of course, part of the USA Olympic team. They win a gold medal, they win a national championship, and the Badgers, the only program to win a men and women's championship in the same season. That was that 2006 year, and it can be done again this year if the men can get it done. Off to a good start in this one. Up 2-0 against North Dakota. 2 goals in 27 seconds in the first period. Botterill and Tassi. Zellers back out there. Top line, Ellis Rickwood. Here's Zellers, look across, stick in front. Hauser knocked down, nothing called. Rickwood in front of the net, he'll stay there. Again, stick on puck, deflects into the corner and out of play.
Well, Butchie, we talked a lot about this North Dakota breakout, and that's what you expect to see, right? Spoonar gets out, he makes the first pass, it's a D-to-D up to the wall, and then they use the middle of the ice to push Wisconsin back on their heels, and then you let the skill take over, right? Zellers looks for that little flip play into the middle, and Rickwood's not able to connect off of it, but that's what you're expecting out of this North Dakota team, a team that breaks the puck out incredibly clean, and then they use the middle of the ice to push the opponents back and make them uncomfortable defending the rush.
Livanovich and Emery out there now on the points. North Dakota, again, applying some pressure.
I think one of the things North Dakota probably discussed between periods was just putting more pressure on Hauser, make him more uncomfortable within the crease, and I would expect for the rest of this hockey game you're going to see more green and white sweaters hanging around the blue paint.
Badgers will flip it out through the air. Livanovich has it. The defenseman looking thinly on the forecheck. Apply the pressure, create a turnover. Now the puck battle on the wall continues. Almost scored it out in front of Spoonar. And now this time it's Jack Kernan who will do the aerial clear over the defense.
Yeah, but that's the third time Luke Osborne picks that aerial puck out of midair and plays it down to himself in motion. The skill in the game these days, Butch, I mean, you see these guys make these routine plays, and they make it look so easy, but incredibly difficult.
Beautiful one-man breakout from Aiden Dubinsky, the Badger defenseman. He changes. Finley will look to get to the bench and change. Now here's that fourth line for the Badgers. Brink and Deering and Pietola. Puck comes on the front, shot! Oh, just wide! Wide open chance for Finn Brink. Both teams getting their chances here early in the second period. Knox over to Phelan. Third defensive pair for the Badgers out there now. As Strindon gets it back to Andrew Strathman, and here comes North Dakota. Here comes Rushdie. Rushdie looks in front. Can't get it. Here comes Wisconsin again. Rushdie's trying to bother from behind Knox. 4 shots this period for North Dakota, just 1. Strindon waiting, looking, drops it back. A couple of Badgers get in the way of that. Here they come, 2-on-1 if they hurry. Zelenoff mishandles, back the other way. Oh, that would have been a stretch pass breakaway for Josephson. Had Strindon let it go. Josephson was all by himself at the blue line. Look at this passing by the Badgers. Across, shot, save, rebound wide. Horbach with a great chance. This game is going back and forth all of a sudden. Teams trading chances. Kept in. Now the Fighting Hawks on the attack in front. Emery. James gave up a chance for a point-blank opportunity. Sent it back to the point. Emery wasn't able to get it on goal. Ivanovich now throws it in the corner. James. Great poise by the Badgers in their own end. Here's the dangerous James. Shot just wide. Off the wall it comes. Another good shift by North Dakota. This is going to be icing on the Badgers.
Listen, not at all what I expected to see. These two teams going up and down the ice, trading chances, but Dexheimer, the defenseman, leading the rush with the kick out wide, and Jack Horbach, the recipient of a beautiful little sauce pass by Zelenoff, and just another grade A for Wisconsin. Number 4, the captain, up in the offense, and it just seems like there's more red sweaters on the ice, and Mike Hastings doesn't like the icing, and he's going to use the timeout early.
That's interesting. We're not even halfway through the hockey game. Mike Hastings calls the timeout.
Let me just say this too, right? You use your timeout this early. If Wisconsin gets into a situation where they want to use a coach's challenge because they've just burned their timeout, if they're wrong, they would receive a penalty. If you own your timeout in college hockey and you want to use a coach's challenge and you're wrong, you just lose your timeout. So that puts a little bit more stress on the Wisconsin coaching staff, the video coach. If they do get into a situation where they want to challenge, they put themselves in a lot more risk.
So not liking the way this period has started. It's definitely been a better start for North Dakota in the second. They give Daniel Hauser, the goaltender, a break. And he's been under a bit of a siege here in the second, but the freshman has been on point.
Yeah, you had to expect a big push for the Fighting Hawks. This team is too good to just go quietly, and it started with the opportunity where great players, they find space, and Will Zellers with the first. And then it's that identity line with Kernan just going to work and finding E.J. Emery, who jumps in off the wall. Been a big progression for E.J. Emery this year. He just looks so much more comfortable with the puck. He's always been a great defender, but that puck has really started to become his friend, and he's looking like a bright prospect for the New York Rangers.
30th overall draft pick, 20 years old, never had much offense in his past. He can develop that with his excellent skating and maneuverability. He could be a player. Here's James behind the net, sealed off real nicely.
Yeah, I like it the way Aiden Dubinsky defends the rush.
The dangerous Finley. Here he comes. Knocked off the puck beautifully by Livanovich. Rebound in front, whacked at by Morrissey, but he couldn't finish it. Back comes North Dakota, the defenseman. Livanovich softly towards Hauser, makes an easy save. But James has it. Looking to go in front to Weeb, intercepted.
Yeah, that's a hope play, right? That's a hopeful play.
Top shot save. Hard wrist shot. Echoed off the left pad of Spoonar.
And now all of a sudden you feed that Wisconsin transition. This time of year, Butchie, if you don't have something around the net, don't fling it.
Talk trying to find Tassi. Botterill, Tassi, shot! Pad saved by Spoonar. This line has been sensational.
Another look short side by Wisconsin.
Zellers, property of the Boston Bruins. Number 9, great pass, shot! Never got there, broke the stick of Dexheimer. That was Cody Kroll off the bench. Penalty, Dexheimer. Power play, North Dakota. They still have the puck. There's the whistle. And here comes the North Dakota power play. They've been the better team in the second period. .46 to go here in the second period. Here's the call.
Wisconsin, number 4, minor penalty for holding.
The captain, Ben Dexheimer from Edina, Minnesota, lost his stick as it was broken on the shot. Just that left-hand grab is a holding penalty, and North Dakota will look to get on the board next. Great moment for North Dakota to get back in this game as they prepared for this power play. A big disparity in this special team combination. You see the North Dakota power play, 7th in the nation, as opposed to the Wisconsin penalty kill.
And you know what, for an offensive player, you love that first power play because you get extra puck touches, and sometimes you're fighting it a little bit. Maybe the puck's bouncing on you, so that opportunity to really kind of feel it, hang on to it, get to an offensive rhythm, that could be huge for a team that's looking to claw back into this game.
Reshny wins the faceoff. He's dangerous. Zellers is dangerous. Zellers has it to Weed. Shot! Screen in front. Deflects over the net. Zellers. Puck retrieval. Sends it behind the net. Swanson's going to have room to make a play along the wall. Excellent keeping by Weed, but then the Badgers are able to clear.
Good pressure play there by Horvath. 22 in red, just reading a bouncing puck up around the blue line and asserting pressure at the perfect time.
Swanson to Reshny. Around and it goes. Zellers will try to win this battle on the wall. Kept in by Weeb on the backhand. Unable to clear. Now they do. North Dakota has no players in the top 30 in NCAA scoring. Yet they're the 3rd best offense in the country. They have lost of depth.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Morrissey gets to it. Nice play on the wall. He'll flick it softly. Or back behind the net, but then the Fighting Hawks break out. 3-on-3 here.
Great challenge there by Dubinsky, and it's going to be another clear. 28 in red has been so strong defensively, holding players up with his reads at the blue lines. It's led to 4 or 5 different transition plays and 4 or 5 different clears here. I really like the way Aiden Dubinsky plays the Duluth transfer.
3 years at Duluth. Livanovich. Off the stick of Curtin. One-timer! Unable to get much on that was Keaton Verhoff. Verhoff out there on the second unit. Livanovich, 2 defensemen on this second unit. Good stick by Finley as it goes into the North Dakota bench.
I mean, it's a luxury to have Finley and Fitzgerald, Gavin Morrissey killing all your penalties, but keep an eye on 28 on the near side of your screen, right? Stick on puck, doesn't overcommit too early to give up the middle of the ice. So many times a defenseman, he'll cut too close, too shallow, and that'll invite plays back into the middle, but Aiden Dubinsky doesn't show up on the score sheet, but he's been an absolute beast defensively for Wisconsin in this hockey game.
Father Steve played in the NHL. Aiden Dubinsky, 21 years old, turns 22 later this month.
3 years with Scott Sandelin and 1 with Mike Hastings. He's got it tight.
Verhoff, one-timer save, it's loose! Verhoff labeled over the glove of Hauser, but he just got a piece of it. Penalty over, 2 shots on goal. See if North Dakota can continue the momentum after that power play. Hard hit on the wall on Young, and they battle with Dubinsky. Badgers continue the hard hitting. Back to the point. Osborne looking. Behind the net to Pietola. Adam Pietola, the 23-year-old. Again, the oldest team in the Frozen Four, the Badgers of Wisconsin. Turnover. Diving effort by Pietola to try to throw that in front. He was looking for Zelenov. Icing North Dakota.
Well, this was that opportunity for North Dakota. Keep an eye on Keaton Verhoff. They line him up for the one-timer. He fades himself out wide. This is a set play. Puts himself into a perfect area. And I think the one-timer is such a lost art. The guys now are playing with whippy 65, 75 flex sticks. Butchie, I played with 110 flex at points in my career. So I don't see a lot of guys hammering those one-timers anymore. And it's a good skill to have for Keaton Verhoff.
Kid 17 years old, turns 18 June 19th. That'll be just before the NHL draft in Buffalo, New York this year. We'll hear his name very early. Livanovich bounces it towards Hauser, who looks very calm and composed. Zelenov can really skate. Number 94 gets hit in the back by his own teammate Horbach, and back comes North Dakota. Second period is ticking away suddenly. Just over 7 minutes left. Reshny now along the wall with Phelan. Reshny able to keep it in deep. Knox looks to reverse. He does, but Reshny in front. It's loose. Dakota can't capitalize. Another dangerous opportunity for North Dakota. Montgomery comes galloping in. Watched by Emery. Another grinding wall battle. Strinden sends it down. Race for the puck. Won by Wisconsin. They get the icing call. It's doubleheader Thursday at the Frozen Four. The winner of this game plays the winner of Michigan and Denver tonight, also on ESPN2. It is Game 2. And then on Saturday, the national championship game. Take a look at that time. Wake the friends, tell the neighbors. Don't forget, for more information, go to NCAA.com. National championship game, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock local on ESPN.
So keep an eye right now. Look how the Wisconsin defensemen are on their offhands. You've got offhand, offhand. This to me says they're trying to work the puck back and they're looking for that one-timer play to 28. Dubinsky will see if they win the draw.
They don't. North Dakota up the wall, but kept in by Tassi, but then poked out by Rickwood. Oh, this is going to be a penalty. I think it's going to be on North Dakota. Then another late hit. Tassi comes over to Rickwood, arm in the air. Assume this is on North Dakota. They were kind of tangled up. Perhaps it's going to be on the Badgers as Strinden's going to the bench.
Yeah, they're going to give Osborne a hold here.
So looks like it's number 2.
Wisconsin number 2, minor penalty for holding.
North Dakota power play when we return.
Coach, what's been most responsible for the better second period?
I think we're just supporting the puck a little bit better. You know, I didn't think we got around the puck very well, so a little bit more talk, a little bit more jump on our toes, and just getting around the puck better so we can make a few more plays.
What's the critical adjustment on this power play?
Yeah, we got to outwork them. You know, I thought normally that's been a real strength of our power play is that we get around pucks and we get second and third chances, but we didn't do a great job in the first one, so we got to make sure that we're winning those puck battles so we can sustain some time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dane Jackson here in Las Vegas. Of course, the Las Vegas current coach for the NHL team, John Tortorella, who was Jackson's coach once upon a time playing in the AHL. Torts made him captain. They went to a Game 7 in the Calder Cup, won it all. Jackson said, I learned a lot from Torts. He was hard on us, but you knew he cared about us, and he was really a sharp coach. And what a photo that is. That is Men's Warehouse John Tortorella from the mid-90s. And there's Dane Jackson.
Look at the scowl on Dane Jackson.
Captain
there, huh?
of Rochester.
I'm so happy to see John Tortorella back coaching an NHL team, right? Like, it felt weird. As much as I loved watching him on ESPN, and Butchie, nobody got more out of him than you did, but I'm thrilled. He's a coach. He wants to be behind a bench.
Absolutely, and they're perfect with him. They play again tonight in Seattle on a road trip, of course. When the Frozen Four comes to town, the NHL team goes on a road trip. Frozen Four, we have a clock issue right now. What about this penalty, Colby? Did Osborne have anywhere to go on this?
To me, I don't like this call, right? I think that Osborne's committed to a hit. I don't think it's late. You know, maybe interference, but holding, I'm not sure. Like, he's already committed. Strindon jumps up, he gets his arm. I don't see a free hand for Osborne. You know, I don't know. In my opinion, to me, that shouldn't be called. That's a reactionary call. It's a tough one for the official because he's on the other side of him. We'll see if North Dakota can take advantage of it. Looks like we're going to have another penalty on Wisconsin and interference.
Wow. Straight off the face-off. Joe Podolachuk playing his 100th game as a Badger.
Wisconsin penalty number 14, 2 minutes interference.
So this ECAC crew.
Yeah, Podolachuk, one of the best penalty killers. Probably would have eaten up considerable time. Look in the middle of your screen, just kind of rides through there. Watch the left side. See 14, he just gets into James and...
Go down a little easy there, Cole?
Yeah, there's a little bit of leg action in the back.
All right, so great opportunity now.
Watch Verhoff on the draw. He's on his offside. Big number 18. He's the type of guy you want to hit for a one-timer, especially on a 5-on-3.
So the 17-year-old is out there as the 5-on-3 begins. What a great look at those North Dakota fans right there, right part of your screen. They are lined up that section, peering down on this 5-on-3 chance. Verhoff has it.
Time of the penalty, 13 minutes.
Down 2-0. One-timer, block shot. Ouch. Man down. Now it's 5-on-2. What a save by Hauser. And down on the ice with that black shot is the captain, Ben Dexheimer.
Yeah, I think he might have taken this one between the legs. Not a fun spot. It either caught him where the cup would sit or maybe kind of on the inside of his leg. Dexheimer, an absolute warrior, giving up his body to block that one-timer by Zellers.
Maybe the right knee as he goes down. Actually, the left ankle.
Yeah, it was right on the. Yeah, it was right on the bottom of his foot.
5-on-3 continues for North Dakota. Under 6 to go in the second. They're down 2-0.
Tell you what, you don't see a lot of 5-on-3s with two defensemen on the ice, right? That tells you that Keaton Verhoff can blast a one-timer. They got Zellers, a freshman, Verhoff, a freshman. Big shooters.
Verhoff. Nice catch. Here's Zellers. Livanovich also out there, the other defenseman. Two defensemen on a 5-on-3. You don't see that a lot. But Verhoff can shoot it. Wrist shot. Knocked down in front. It might have hit a body in front, Rickwood, before it even got to Hauser.
Yeah, Verhoff tried to shoot that one around Rickwood.
No Badgers in front of net. They better watch out on the 5-on-3. All three were behind the cage. Livanovich, the defenseman. Verhoff falls down. Hooks it to Livanovich. They change sides. Here it comes. Saved by Hauser. Slap shot stayed low on the ice, an easy pad save. 3 shots on goal on this power play. Livanovich, one-timer, shot wide and out. That was Zellers who ripped the one-timer. Under 5 to go here in the second. 5-on-3 for 15 more seconds. The 2 penalties will end very quickly. They're only 4 seconds apart. Fairhoff looking, can't find a spot. Zellers remains out there. Now they're all kind of discombobulated. Now they're back organized. Shot in front. Where is it?
Wisconsin at 1
One penalty over. Second penalty over. We're back to even strength. The Badgers survive.
What a big moment for Wisconsin. Kill off that 5-on-3. The energy that your team gets from that shot block by Dexheimer, giving up the body. Horbach around the front of the net, making great defensive plays.
Under 4 to go now as Wisconsin survives a 5-on-3. Nearly a full 2 minutes 5-on-3. North Dakota really didn't get multiple grade A chances.
Too stationary.
Yeah.
Too stationary, too deliberate. I think, we're sitting here talking about them looking for Verhoff on the one-timer, right? And I just think it was too deliberate. I don't think they had enough movement. I don't think they snapped it around well enough. And when Hauser's able to kind of move around the net and the passes are going slow from point to point, he's going to stop those.
Here come the Badgers now, trying to get some of their offensive momentum back. Through the crease it goes. Kept in by Finn Brink. Behind to Deering in front. Looking for Finley. So Finley takes a twirl with these fourth-line forwards, Deering and Brink. You'll see Mike Hastings do that occasionally. Kind of a double shifting Quinn Finley. Kroll. Up the wall it comes. Here comes Young to the net. Around the net. Steered off nicely and hit hard by Weston Knox. Curtin keeps it in on the line. Strindon, the North Dakota native, around the net. One-timer. Sam Lorilla just wide. Another shot saved by Hauser. Turnover shot. Blocked. That hit the skates of Jack Phelan. That shot just off a piece of equipment of Hauser. North Dakota continues to pressure. Shot off the stick of Phelan again. The Badgers are now just surviving. They're playing rope-a-dope right now.
Yeah, they've been stuck out on the ice for a while.
Montgomery, nice play off the bench. Selenoff has a man. Back to Montgomery. Shot. Big save by Spoonar. Way on top of his crease. Montgomery sells it back, and he'll dump it in, and the Badgers will change. Zellers back out there. Bodies on the ice. Josephson and Tassi getting tangled. Zellers will chase. Dexheimer's back out there after blocking that shot with his ankle, number 4 in red.
What a good play by him there, too, to reverse the flow of that breakout.
Puck comes out in front. Crazy bounce. Good play by Oliver Tulk, the center on this second line, the forecheck. He still has the puck. Tulk can't handle it. Watch out. Josephson has a breakaway. Here he comes. What a diving play by Tulk. Under a minute to go in the second. Livanovich fakes. Tulk with the sweep check. Bothered him just enough. Livanovich still has it. Zeller's shot deflects into the netting. What back pressure from Oliver Tulk.
Well, this time of year, the end of a period, you have to be careful at the offensive blue line. But just the defensive effort by Tulk to make the stick play and not take a penalty. 2-0 Wisconsin late in the second.
Frozen Four men's hockey back in Las Vegas 2026. Game 1, the semifinal, North Dakota and Wisconsin. North Dakota assistant captain Ben Strindon has gone from sorrow to success. His dad, Tom, after a 17-month battle against cancer, passed away last July. The support that Ben has received from his immediate teammates and the entire North Dakota hockey family has been off the charts. Coach Dane Wilson saying that Ben is through the storm now and the unwavering support of that entire team who showed up at his funeral was key for Ben's turnaround. He's had a breakout year, John. He's a character guy. He's a sharp kid. We spent time with him yesterday. You could definitely feel his presence. He's got a major success ahead of him as a young person.
Yes, career high in goals and points. And you're right, Quinn, just an impressive young man. His dad, Tom, as you mentioned, passed away July 13th last summer, just 63 years old. Shot, what a save by Hauser off that faceoff. That was ripped by Ellis Rickwood. Morrissey behind the net now. Top line for Wisconsin out there. Finley can't do the poke and dash play. We saw Jack Hughes pull off at the Olympics. He tried it there on Emery. Emery can't reach that one. And the second period is winding down. A 5-on-3 power plays. Taken care of by the Badgers. One more chance. In front. Shot blocked. And that'll do it for the second. The Badgers of Wisconsin, led by their captain, Ben Dexheimer. He was the one who threw that left leg out in that 5-on-3, blocking that shot with his ankle. He hobbled to the bench. From there, his team took care of the rest of the power play. And they remain on top of North Dakota. And here it is on that 5-on-3. Pretty much a full 2-minute 5-on-3. Left part of your screen, watch number 4 in red. Ben Dexheimer, the senior from Edina. And how about that back pressure late in the period from Oliver Tolk? What a play, Quinn Keswick.
That was a heck of a play you made. What happened?
Well, I just turned the puck over, so obviously not the best play, but just to kind of back check and hope that sprawling out could make the play, and luckily it did.
What's going through your mind when it's a 5-on-3 power play for them?
Just that our guys that are going to do their job, they kill really hard all season long, so I just want them to do their job, and they did it.
Thank you, Oliver. Let's swing things over to Colby, who's on North Dakota's bench.
Yeah, here with Dylan James. And Dylan, much better period for you guys, a lot more grade A's. So what did you talk about between the first and the second that led to more offensive opportunity?
I think just getting back to our game. I think we faded away from that a little bit in the first, and just start throwing pucks on net. We hadn't tested that goal enough in the first, and we did this period, so let's keep it going.
Listen, you came back here to win a championship, right? You guys are down 2-0 going into the third period. You are one of the leading scorers of this team. You're a captain for this team. What are you going to talk about with your guys here in between the second and third?
I think just keep our confidence. This whole season we came back from multi-goal leads probably 3-4 times, so we have it in us. We just gotta believe.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Game 154 in the career of Dylan James. Check to score. That's what Dane Jackson said that Dylan James needs to do. I apologize for my bellicosity, but we got a national championship on the line. And after 40, it's the Badgers by 2. North Dakota still standing, but they're a little wobbly. After back-to-back shutouts in Sioux Falls in the regional, they're getting shut out after 40 minutes here in Las Vegas by the defense of Wisconsin, Colby Cohen.
I mean, the commitment level from the Badgers, the block on the 5-on-3 penalty by the captain, Ben Dexheimer, but watch the detail here for Tolk. Not to take a penalty. It is so important to not just drag a guy down when he may get a shot anyway. It was so patient by number 55 to just wait for that perfect little opportunity to get under the hands. What a play by Tolk defensively. Maybe a game saver.
Much better period for North Dakota in the second. They outshoot Wisconsin 12-7 after the Badgers dominated period number 1. So what will the third period look like?
Well, listen, if you're Wisconsin, you can't afford to just sit back. There's enough players on this Fighting Hawks team that can score. They can score in bunches. I think it's just going to be who's going to get to the ground game quicker, Butchie, who's going to get it below the goal line, and who's going to win more battles along the walls.
Finley, the dangerous Finley behind the net, circling in front. Padelalchuk to the net, just went wide. Spunar completely screened, wrap around, whack that, and stays out. Great chance there for Christian Fitzgerald. Number 13, turnover, one-timer, big save, Spunar on Finley. Fitzgerald on one knee, so an excellent Opening shift by the top line of the Badgers.
Yeah, that is the best shift Wisconsin has had in quite some time. Going back into the second period, it wasn't just the first save by Spoonar. How about the second save? But again, it's the failed breakout by Livinovic. It's a one-timer by one of their best shooters in Quinn Finley. But Spoonar, he's calm, he's poised, he stops the first, he swallows the second.
John Butchergross, 2009 national champion. Colby Cohen. Colby was also the MOP of that 2009 Frozen Four in Washington, D.C., where we'll be next year for the Frozen Four. And Quinn Kesnick, all here in Las Vegas for the first time, and it won't be the last. This is clearly an excellent Frozen Four site.
This has a lot of the feels of Tampa.
It does. Saved by Spoonar, and he'll cover up and get a whistle. Quinn Kesnick ringside with us.
North Dakota players described themselves yesterday as being goofy and light. I did not sense that in the hallway coming out of their locker room between the second and third periods. They're all talking about taking it up a notch again. The seniors saying the right things, and Matt Smaby, their gigantic defensive coach, said, we just got to get one. Just got to get one. We're not going to change our identity. We're not going to change our style. Clearly, the energy was better in that second period, but just keep pushing and stay true to who we are.
They have the highest scoring freshman class and the highest scoring senior class. They will try to call upon their depth here in the third to get back in this game. No one in the top 30 in scoring in the NCAA, yet the NCHC regular season champions possess the third best offense. And here they come! Hauser steers it aside. And the Badgers look to break out. Knox sends it across towards Tassi. He has scored this game. Botterill looking to jump on it. He has scored in this game. 11 and 21 have the Badger goals, and they scored them 27 seconds apart in the first.
You got to think you're going to see a lot of activation from the North Dakota back end, right? Verhoff's going to jump in, Livinovic, Weeb. These guys are going to be looking to get up the ice as Verhoff keeps this play alive.
Knocked
and
down.
They're going to try to create that extra wave of offense for North Dakota.
Now Dexheimer, the captain. He was the hero against Michigan State in overtime. That got the Badgers to the Frozen Four. Icing, Wisconsin.
Yeah, what a big time block by the captain and the hero from the regional, Ben Dexheimer, on that 5-on-3, a pivotal moment for Wisconsin. And I really like Dexheimer. He just seems to do it all. He's physical. He had the assist on the breakaway goal to Botterill, runs the power play.
Verhoff behind the net. Big body watched by Montgomery. Couple of big athletes out there. Verhoff looked to feed a man in front. James couldn't quite complete the pass. Ellis Rickwood, the transfer from Clarkson, shot for the point, never hit there. There were 4 bodies in front of Hauser, 2 on each team. James, the Red Wings pick. Watch out, Montgomery can fly. Here he comes, he has it. Excellent diving play, Lorilla. Montgomery back shot, saved by Spoonar. Zellers picks it up, takes it from Verhoff. Zellers uses his speed to the net, around the net, wrap around. Hauser was there. Verhoff, the defenseman, behind the net. Part of that activation Colby was talking about. Dubinsky up the wall, plenty of space for Finley, who sends it in. So the first 3 minutes of the third are gone. Weed, Reshny, they'll retreat. Morrissey loses his stick. Andrew Strathman. Here's Reshny, but he loses it. Stretch pass. A little too far for Morrissey to handle. Weed shot! What a blocker save by Hauser! He's been the star of the game.
We have a defenseman, Butchie, jumping up in the offense, just like we just talked about. That second wave.
Reshny, dangerous shot off the stick. Reshny gets it back. No arms in the air in that collision. Weave to the net, blocked in front. It was Cody Kroll supplying the damage in the screen in front, but it never got to Hauser.
I thought that was a good no call. I just think that was a collision. I think everybody's looking for a little help, a little power play right now, but they got that one right. Well, we talked about the importance of North Dakota defense, activating, joining the play. There's Abram Wiebe, one of the more offensive thinking defensemen for the Fighting Hawks. And look at the positioning from that beautiful shot from our net cam. The freshman, Daniel Hauser, he has not missed a beat in this hockey game. Boy, does he look calm on that last save.
5'11", 167 from Alberta.
Tell you what, Wisconsin, they're getting every puck by Jan Spoonar. They are shooting pucks in, but it's high, it's on the glass. They definitely had the scouting report, as this is going to go down for icing, that they needed to keep the puck away from Spoonar, and they have done it well in this hockey game. And you wonder, how did we get here? Well, this is in the first period. Zelenoff with a great forecheck, stick detail with a beautiful play to Simon Tassi, and then how about Ryan Botterill streaking through the middle of the ice, and a beautiful pass by Ben Dexheimer, the captain, and Wisconsin still owning that 2-0 lead with 15 to go here in the third period.
North Dakota has won every faceoff this period to get the icing call.
Oh,
and you heard the reaction there from Cody Kroll. No bleeping way. North Dakota had 4 shots on goal and 12 attempts in the first.
And Tolk's going to choose the right face-off circle on an icing. The offensive team, they get to choose which face-off side they want. Now, the 2 defensemen for North Dakota, Dubinsky and Osborne, again, off sides for both of them. If they win the draw, they are confident in their one-timer plays.
Haven't won a draw this period. That's a 50-50 one that's fished out. And now the Badgers have it in front of them. Shot! Big save, Spoonar! Oliver Talk was wide open in front.
And imagine,
55.
Sorry, Butchie, imagine after that icing that the North Dakota bench was quite unhappy about. But it's the face-offs again for Wisconsin, just pushing pucks towards the net, killing the clock, and Jan Spoonar with another big-time save on Oliver Tolk to keep his team alive in this first Frozen Four semifinal here in Las Vegas.
The men of Wisconsin, a bit of a Cinderella tint to their story. Remember, it looked like they were down and out against Michigan State, losing 3-1, but they score with 4:47 to go to make it a 1-goal game. And then they get 2 goals in 34 seconds. So 2 goals in 27 seconds today in the first. 2 goals in 34 seconds in the third against Michigan State. And then in overtime, not wasting any time, Ben Dexheimer, the captain, sends Wisconsin to Las Vegas, baby. They scan their ticket and they are here. And again, 2 quick goals in back-to-back periods spread over multiple days. Back into the glove of Spoonar.
And during that last TV timeout, Mike Hastings talking to his forwards about making these face-offs count, right? And now I look at the way that they're lined up, and I look at how Blake Montgomery is on the inside. He's a left shot on that right, and he's going to try to come off the top right there on his forehand. They lose another draw. So again, not making the most out of these offensive draws are Wisconsin.
No, they're not. North Dakota dominating the dot here in the third. Let's see if they make the Badgers pay eventually. Zeller's off the wall. Penalty. Spoonar to the bench. Extra attacker now on. 6 on 5. Zeller's around. Smola can't reach it. Wiebe does. There's the touch, and here comes the power play for North Dakota.
Wisconsin penalty number 2, 2 minutes, tripping.
Luke Osborne.
You see number 2, Luke Osborne, just get his stick in the feet. A Will Zellers. That's an easy one for the officials to call, and now North Dakota with a huge opportunity to make something happen here on the power play. Again, with the two defensive look, Bearhoff will be on that offside as a righty. He'll camp out right around that top of the circle where Brett Hull likes to hang out in his career, and we'll see if they can find a little magic here on this power play.
And we see in college hockey when a team that's down 2-0 like North Dakota is, if they get the next goal, it's just electricity in the air and everything changes. Livanovich now at the point. Rickwood leads the team in scoring, number 29. Trying to go down low to James. Couldn't get it there, but Livanovich has it. One-timer! Easy save. Bearhoff had the one-timer. Again, he's not elevating that slap shot, and Hauser's really making some easy stick and pad saves.
Yeah, I think Bearhoff's putting himself too far down in the offensive circle. It's a tough angle. I guess probably not there. He's right along the dot. I do think that is a pretty good spot. He kind of didn't get all of that one.
Healed it.
I thought he maybe crept himself down too low in real time, but I take that back. That was a perfect shooting spot for Keaton Bearhoff. Now we're going to see the other unit with Reshny, and he's a playmaker. He likes to move it around, and keep an eye on number 9. He's another one who's got a big shot, and Reshny wins this one too clean.
Look at Finley's skate. What a powerful skater number 19 is for the Badgers. Zellers falls down behind the play. He'll be late joining. He's now at the right point. Strindon. He's going to go through to Swanson. Here's Zellers. Wrist shot deflected high and wide. Swanson. North Dakota doing all the right things. They're getting shots on net. They're getting traffic. It just haven't got a break yet.
Listen, Dane Jackson talked to Quinn about this, and to me, they're just getting outworked on the power play right now. Wisconsin just has more energy. They're jumping pucks, and you get out on the power play, it's not the time to take your foot off the gas. Sometimes players relax a little bit, and it's not a recipe for success, and Dane Jackson mentioned it.
Reshny now. He's got Strindon down the middle of the ice. Reshny will look for him. Can't get it to him. Back to the point. Livanovich walks in. Wrist shot over the net.
He had daylight in the upper left part of the net there, Butchie.
And he also had the screen from Strindon.
Yeah, that blocker side was available. Just missed the net. That's a perfect angle from my spot here between the benches on any of the plays on this side of the net.
Bearhoff can't get around Finley, and Josephson has it. He had the breakaway late in the second that Oliver Tulk denied with that diving sweep check. Shot just wide. Josephson had another chance. Keaton Bearhoff has it. Throws it over to Rickwood.
Wisconsin.
County overs.
Good play there by Bearhoff.
Osborne out of the box, the defenseman. He'll rim it in. He'll go change now. Gearing. Fink. Pietila, the fourth line of Wisconsin. It's a veteran group. 23-year-old, 21-year-old, and a 20-year-old.
Tyler Young is hurt, Butchie.
Okay.
He just got hit right in front of me, favoring one arm, one shoulder. The son of former NHLer Scott Young. Merrimack transfer, and he's in some pain.
Number 14, there he is on the bench. His teammates down 2-0. Under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Here comes Paul for the shot. Saved by Spoonar. So much pressure on Spoonar the rest of the way.
Well, Tyler Young has been such a great story and a great addition to this North Dakota team. Didn't play the first 5 or 6 games of the year. And Grady Deering, the fourth line center for Wisconsin, just finishes his hit right in front of me, and you can see the pain that Young was in. I'm watching him now. Looks like he's okay. I would definitely expect to see him again, but never comfortable to get finished off like that after you're getting rid of a puck.
His dad, 2 years of college hockey at Boston University, and then an excellent NHL career, 1,181 games, 342 goals for Scott Young.
I think he was on the staff with Mike Hastings and David Quinn at the Olympics. In Beijing, I believe it was.
Yep. There's a shot by Tassi that's saved by Spoonar. The Czech goaltender knows he cannot allow another one in.
Again, we've talked about face-offs. Wisconsin finally able to win one. A lot of times you just got to track through there, and Montgomery with a good look, and they'll line it up again with
nail-biting time. Grand Forks. They need one soon. Still over 11 minutes to go. Things can change fast in college hockey. Swanson across. Nice defensive play by Arsman. He'll skate out. They got numbers if they hurry. See how they play this.
Good play there by Laurelia to just snuff that out. Doesn't let that play into the middle. Now he's going to wheel it all the way up the ice.
5th round pick of the New York Rangers in front. Botterill makes a nice play off the glass. Zelenoff has really been flying in this game. He's taken down. Badgers fans want a penalty. Don't get big. Now here comes a penalty on the Badgers. What's this call going to be?
He's going to get Horvath here, I believe.
Boarding's the call. Zelenoff's like, why didn't you call my penalty? I was taken down. Emery's chirping at him. Badger fans are not happy.
Wisconsin number 22, minor penalty for boarding.
There's some of the disapproving fans, and look, they have a point. Emery's playing with a free hand there. I mean, that is textbook call for the officials. That's the one that doesn't get called. And then Horvath comes in. We're going to bring in Dave Jackson. Jax, what do you see there?
Colby, I got to agree with you. He's used a free hand on there. He goes around. I think from the referee's standpoint, he might have felt that the defender was using the chicken wing, grasping onto the arm. Maybe that's why he didn't call it. And then the second one has to be called.
Absolutely.
So he probably could have gone 4-4 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah, that's a boarding all the way. Dave Jackson, he's a supervisor in the NCAA, so he lives in the college hockey world, not just the NHL world, which he does for us on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ABC all year long. So glad Dave has joined us for the Frozen Four for these rules interpretations.
One of the best follows on Twitter too, Butchie.
Great follow. Reasonable with the fans who have emotional responses to penalties against their teams. Here comes North Dakota. They need a goal. Reshny. Power play. Again. Zellers, no. Just a little flat, Kobe, the power plays.
It's very deliberate, right? There's not a lot of misdirection. They're not using the seams all that well. They're not snapping the puck around.
Let's go Badgers is the chant for these fans. They're feeling confident. North Dakota fans a little nervous now as the clock ticks down. Less than 10 minutes in the third. Fitzgerald, Spoonar comes out. No trapezoid concerns in college hockey. Goaltenders can roam where they want around their cage. Zeller's onside. Nice play. Here comes North Dakota. Set up. Jack Kernan is out there, but again, an easy clear. No shots yet on this power play. Bearhoff. Ellis Rickwood. Shot saved by Hauser. Stuck that right pad out. Covers up after he lost it for a second. Penalty, North Dakota. Power play over. Kernan's going to get the gate with 33 seconds left in the man advantage.
North Dakota number 15, minor penalty slashing.
I think you kind of had to know that this one was coming, but I don't know, Butchie, like, I even look at that and I think that's pretty soft to me. I don't know. You know, I think that to me that's a makeup call based on what was missed earlier. But again, if you're North Dakota, you got to know when they're that lopsided on calls, the next one is probably going to go your way. But for a game that is leading to a national championship, a little harmless whack like that, I think boys will be boys. I don't know if we still have Jax to bring in and ask him his opinion on that one, Butchie, but again, you know, he has a way better perspective on that than I do.
It was a pretty good whack, and they've had multiple man advantage chances.
I don't know, really? You thought that was a pretty good whack? I'm not sure.
It's close. What do you think, Dave? You beat Judge Judy here.
Well, John, all I've got to say, you both have good points. Teams on the power play, you've got to know when you're on the power play, you can't do stupid things, especially after the whistle.
Fair.
You know, you got to play between the whistles. Once that whistle goes, don't give the referee an opportunity to call something on you. There's no need for that. You skate away.
So 4-on-4 for 30 seconds, and the 90-second Badger power play would begin.
Time of the penalty, 10 minutes, 26 seconds of the third period.
9 minutes left in the final frame.
Time, 10:46.
Wisconsin entered this NCAA tournament without a tournament win since 2010. A game of any kind. Shot just wide of Hauser. It's going to come out of the zone. Horbach is on his feet in the penalty box. He will step out, and now the power play begins. 85-second power play for Wisconsin to try to go up 3-0. You know North Dakota's still going to think offense, and Rushne's out there. He dangles, he's a shot off the crossbar! Morrissey skates out. Backhand pass across to Finley. Wisconsin appears a bit flat-footed right now, but now Finley has daylight. Morrissey, too far for him. Power play, Wisconsin. Very aggressive North Dakota, down by 2. Morrissey settles it down. Fitzgerald has room, fakes, across, Finley. They're trying to get him freed up, all by himself on the weak side.
Look at the pressure from this North Dakota penalty kill.
It's just desperation.
No time for Wisconsin. They made that little play into the bumper, which Mike Hastings told us yesterday. The bumper is so important against this pressure to provide support, but you see why this North Dakota penalty kill has been successful this season. The pressures.
That shot deflects off Tulk. Zelenoff sprints for the puck. He puts pressure on. Power play winding down. 10 seconds left. Montgomery has a man in front. Can't get to him. Broken up nicely by Cody Kroll. Penalty ends. Kernan on the ice. No shots in that 85-second power play. Montgomery has wheels to the net. Backhand poke check by Spoonar. Montgomery has it back. One-timer, Dubinsky wide. Comes out in front. Dangerously almost deflected off of Spoonar's back and into the net. Under 7 to go in the game. No timeouts for Wisconsin. North Dakota has 1. Mike Hastings used his in the second period. A big hit. Delivered by Weave. Horbach has it now. Horbach down the wall, but taken by North Dakota. We'll have to keep an eye on Spoonar, and when he'll make his way to the bench. Still plenty of time, 6.5 to go. We'll see how aggressive Dane Jackson plays it. A 2-goal deficit. Here comes Botterill. Botterill. Bothered from behind Zellers. A good defensive play by Zellers. He bothered Pietila. Morrissey. Shot from the point. Spoonar never saw it, and it deflected into the netting.
Well, we talked about some of the impressive freshmen from North Dakota. The first-round pick. Look at that skill, that toe drag. That puck rides up the goaltender, goes off the crossbar, and Daniel Hauser remains unbeaten.
It's been 28 long years since the Michigan Wolverines have won a national championship. They walk into T-Mobile Arena now as #1 overall seed this year. Denver, Kent Anderson, they're the standard. The standard, the Denver Pioneers. They are the kings of college hockey this decade, the team of the decade so far. North Dakota hasn't won a national championship in 10 years. If they're going to reach the final, they have 6 minutes and 9 seconds to get 2 goals.
And when you're down 2 goals and you haven't created a ton of sustained offense, you got to start thinking about getting your goalie out. And I'm not saying now, but I'm saying right around the 4-minute mark, you start to get under there. And I saw Dane Jackson talk to Jan Spoonar about that during the TV timeout, telling him, keep your eye on the bench, right? Because I do think, again, down 2, you get under 4 minutes and you get offensive zone possession, I'm getting the goalie out and I'm taking my chances 6-on-5.
Especially if you have the right guys out there, like you said, maybe an offensive zone faceoff. Even if it is in that 3:50 to go, you still might want to do it. You don't know when you're going to have that chance again. But if you're Wisconsin, you feel like you've been the better team. You're out shooting them 36-19. Can they keep that sustained pressure even with the extra attacker? Here they come. Fitzgerald in on a round weave across the Finley. Can't get it to him. But again, it's the Badgers who have control. This is what they want to do now. Get the puck in deep and get that forecheck game going. Finley's in there. Zelenov, now 94, has been really impressive today with his skating and pressure. Short shifts for the Badgers the rest of the way. Just onside. Young is back on the ice. Number 14, Tyler Young. He delivers a hit there to Zelenov. Sapinski's trying to get it up the wall. 3 Badgers around the puck. Good stick work. Montgomery! Breakaway! Blake Montgomery loses control. And the backhand attempt from Horbach goes wide. What a chance to seal this game for Blake Montgomery, but he couldn't finish.
And listen, the continued chances by Wisconsin, to me, it's all the more reason to get your goalie out even earlier. They're not sustaining offensive zone time. Wisconsin is still breaking pucks out at will and coming up the ice.
Clock is the enemy. Under 5 to go. Rickwood sends it up. Great job in the neutral zone by Dexheimer to step up and break up that play. Number 4, the captain, leading the way. 4 minutes, 39 seconds ago in the season of North Dakota. It's desperation time in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas. 4:39 to go. North Dakota down 2-0.
And during that TV timeout, Butchie, there was a lot of conversations going on between coaches, goaltenders, and none better than this man right here, Daniel Hauser. What a performance so far. Stopping everything he's seen, getting a little bit of love from his crossbar late in this hockey game, and he has been the man of the hour for this Wisconsin Badger team, as Dane Jackson discussing with the officials. And right before Jan Spunar went back to the bench, back to the net, Dane Jackson looked at him. He said, "Keep your eyes on me."
Spunar at one end, you see Hauser at the other. Face-offs at center ice after that puck went into the bench in the neutral zone breakup. And it's won by North Dakota. They have their big guns out there. You would think they would pull Spunar very soon.
I think the next time they get in the offensive zone and have any type of possession, I'd get them out.
Josephson, Reshny, Swanson. That's not called offside. It was close. Dexheimer reverses. Fitzgerald can't get it out. Nice play. Wondolachuk was down on a knee to make sure he had the leverage and protection of that puck. Net still occupied by Spunar. That's high in the air. Just misses the jumbotron at center ice and goes into the North Dakota end. Under 4 minutes to go in regulation. North Dakota needs 2. Hops over Hauser's stick. Chopped up the wall. There's going to be room for the Badgers to clear. It's Morrissey.
You see, to me, Butchie, this is why I would have gotten him out already. You got to go outnumber on the forecheck, and right now, 5 has just not been enough for North Dakota to do that and sustain some sort of forecheck.
Here's your chance. Icing Wisconsin. You got to think Spunar's coming to the bench now.
Yeah, Will Zeller's calling for a timeout, actually looking at his coach saying timeout, but I don't think they're going to use it just yet. I wouldn't burn it here either. I'd probably hold on. You know, these are things you practice, right? 6-on-5, offensive zone looks, offensive zone faceoffs. You got the right guys on the ice. So here we go. Goaltender is out. 3.5 or so here to go. Let's see how we finish.
Kernan, Strinden, Rickwood, Reed, Livanovich. Face off. Badgers go for it. Keep it by North Dakota. Strinden up the wall. Over there with Kernan. He'll reverse down low. North Dakota on the attack. Livanovich has some room. Shot! Just over the net, short side high. Net empty at the other end. The Badgers chop it down. Will it make it for icing? Yes. North Dakota still with the timeout. Wisconsin does not have theirs. Denver and Michigan waiting to see if their game will start on time. They will begin an hour after this one, or will they go to overtime and wait? Now it's a 2-goal lead for Wisconsin. Grady Deary, number 17, loses the faceoff. Badgers surround the puck. North Dakota needs another guy over there. Now they get Rickwood to support. Into the netting. 2:59 to go. Hauser has been spectacular in this game. Son of Kristen and Trevor Hauser from the province of Alberta. Played in the Western League last year. Had an excellent season. He was up for WHL Goaltender of the Year. At one point he had 4 straight shutouts in March. Badgers get it down the ice. Livanovich out there with Weed. North Dakota needs 2. Rimmed around the net. Dylan James leads North Dakota in goal scoring with 21. Number 26. Now North Dakota set up. Weed. Here's Rookwood. They need shots. Across. Finding James, but off his leg. Badgers clear without icing. And they're able to change. 5 fresh Badgers on the ice. Weed sends it in. Hauser can't knock it down. Phelan in the corner. Deering over there. Livanovich. Back to Weed. Shot! Save through traffic while he's bowled over. Hauser again dealing with all that traffic in front of the net, makes the save, falling backwards.
I cannot stress how difficult of a save that was for Hauser. Keep an eye on Strinden, 21, directly in front, falling on him. This probably would have been potential goaltender interference. It's a perfect shot by Weave to shoot around the screen. I do not know how Hauser tracked that and gloved that. What a save by Hauser.
2:05 to go. Net still empty. 50-50 face-off again. Dreshny has it behind the net. He's the great playmaker. You want him with the puck. Shot blocked. Pass in front, never got there. That was Gavin Morrissey with the shot. He's out there defending. All hands on deck for the Badgers. Finley.
There by Aiden Dubinsky. Again, defensively strong. Gets that puck around the boards, throws it high enough so he knows it's going to be a hard puck to handle at the point. It's been a really good game for Aiden Dubinsky. I've really liked watching him defend for Wisconsin.
Big, sturdy, right-handed shot. 80 seconds left. North Dakota in need of 2 goals. The Badgers trying to finish it off. Shot for the point. Deflected off Phelan. Finley has room to clear. He does towards the empty net, but it's going to be icing. 1:05 to go.
Well, you get into this type of situation here, Butchie, and you have to make sure you don't need a clean face-off win, but you can't lose it. The wingers got to be on their toes and ready to get in. I'm looking for Strinden, number 21, lined up on the inside circle to try to jump in, help, get this puck back to the point, and everything's got to go towards the net. You got 1 minute and 5 seconds on this remaining down 2. There's no bad shot right now.
What a face-off win by Morrissey. He's been outstanding. Dexheimer, can he get it out? No. Kept in by Swanson. Under 1 minute to go. Wrap around in front. Score!
Well, there is life in the building now for the Fighting Hawks. Ellis Rickwood with a timely goal, just camped out on the paint. We talked you couldn't lose this face-off. Well, they do. And Max Swanson, who's a forward, number 7, makes a real strong play up at the point. But what you like here, the outnumbering of North Dakota in the battle. They make sure that they come up with this puck. And Dylan James, he's looking for a wraparound. It finds Rickwood in front. And North Dakota has life with 52 seconds remaining. And Dane Jackson is going to burn that timeout, bring his guys in, talk about this face-off and where they'd like to go. 2-1, Butchie, last minute of a hockey game. We have seen this before.
You have seen this before. Ellis Rickwood, 23 years old, turns 24 in July. 3 years at Clarkson, go in the portal. They needed a center iceman like him that was part of the reconstruction at North Dakota last summer. And he comes up with the big goal to make it a 1-goal game. And this is always an interesting decision, Colby. I always think you should pull the goalie now with the opening face-off after the goal. You have more players on the ice. You can win the puck battles you're talking about.
Yeah, but I think what happens nowadays, people go for the empty net. It's not like the old days 10 years ago where you're just looking for high flips. Guys shoot for that empty net. So if you lose that draw at center ice, it's a much clearer path to the net. Spoonar is going to start up at the top of the circles. I think the minute North Dakota decides whether they get possession or not on this faceoff, then you'll see Spoonar come to the bench.
Wisconsin pulled off the miracle tie against Michigan State to force overtime. Now North Dakota will try to do it to Wisconsin. Here comes North Dakota. James, extra attacker on. Rickwood is still out there. Horbach can't get it. Dubinsky's out there for Wisconsin. And the puck comes out of the zone. You see the time left, 30 seconds. Pressure from Horbach. He's the only one though. That allows North Dakota to bring the puck up easily. And now they're in the offensive zone. Wisconsin tries for the clear. Fitzgerald, can he reach it? He does! He overskates it! But then it's gone from Morrissey. Fitzgerald to ice the game. Can't do it. Reed knocks it down, but there's only 5 seconds left. North Dakota has to hurry. Rickwood, one more chance. Over the net! Wisconsin moves on. Dylan James, final game for North Dakota. Mike Hastings was hired to get to the Frozen Four, to win national championships, and he is with Quint Kesnick.
Way to go, Coach.
Thank you.
It was not easy late. What do you think made the difference?
You know what? I think our little guy in there stood pretty tall. And then our penalty killers, our defensive core did an unbelievable job at least leaking some of that clock off. And then we just found a way to get it done. This group's been very resilient, and they've had a lot of next shift mentality, and that's what we needed tonight.
What did you see from your goaltender tonight? It looked like he was sharp early, and then he maintained that.
You know what? He's been calm waters for us since day one. Came in as a freshman and stood tall. Had a little valley, but then went right back after it. Found a way to get it done for us tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Great day in Madison. Mike Hastings getting the job done. Wisconsin trying to win that first national championship in 20 years as the handshakes take place at center ice. So there it is. Wisconsin has reached the national championship game. 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. They now await the winner of Michigan and Denver. That is coming up in 1 hour here on ESPN2. And the career of Ben Strinden at North Dakota comes to an end. 137 games. All the pain he went through losing his father but came back with a memorable season, reaching the Frozen Four, the Nashville 7th round pick. Engaged to be married and begins the next phase of his life. Quint Kesnick with the #1 star of the game.
Daniel Hauser, that was unbelievable. You take the ice tonight. What was going on in your mind?
We just came into this game, wanting to play our game, do what we do best, and, everyone put together an amazing game, an amazing 60 minutes, and I couldn't be more proud of the group over there.
You're a freshman, but you're 22. What'd you feel like tonight? Did you feel like the young guy, or did you feel like a veteran?
Man, these guys in the room, they give me confidence. We're so tight in the room that it doesn't matter what game it is, we got each other's back, and, we showed it tonight, and I'm just so proud again.
Was there a decisive moment in your mind?
Man, I thought that 5-on-3 kill was huge. On top of the goals in the first period, but, blocks from the guys. Unbelievable effort, unbelievable.
Congratulations, John.
Daniel Hauser was outstanding. Wisconsin moves on at the Frozen Four. Quint, Colby, we'll be back for game 2 1 hour from now. Back to the studios, Zubin. How about that ending?